read what you want. Read what you enjoy reading. And don't let anybody shame you for it.
That's it. Yeah, only one line.
One line.
All right, we're good.
We're good.
Hi, guys.
Hey, what's up? I miss you.
Hi, I miss you. How are you doing?
Not too bad. We just got back from vacation last night.
Nice.
We went to visit family, so pseudo vacation. We didn't do much.
I think Julian was having a vacation.
He had a grand old time.
With a cat.
He
the stairs. What did your shirt say?
That cat so much.
Mortal enemies to lovers.
Yeah,
I love it.
Mortal enemies to lovers. It's from my most recent Bookish Box subscription. That was from September.
Nice.
So
love that.
Yeah.
I am only playing solitaire, so we can go whenever.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can go now if you'd like.
We're ready.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know why I always get fucking nervous doing this shit. I don't know why.
I've been doing it for so long.
See, I feel like I would be nervous
I know.
if I was alone. The fact that I have somebody to go off of, in fact, two somebodies,
yeah, that's true.
We're good.
I think it's like Lucia, don't mess up the intro sort of thing for me.
I feel that, yeah.
Like, blah, blah, don't word vomit, Lucia. Anyways, yeah, let's do this. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to We Know What You Like. I'm Lucia.
Katie.
And Mary.
Welcome back to Book Talk, rather. And for the month of February, I decided, and they agreed, to read a sports romance novel. And we read Icebreaker by Hannah Grace.
Hockey.
Hockey, in particular hockey.
Yes.
And
Hockey.
if you follow the channel, you'll know that last month we spoke briefly about this book, and at that time I had read the first 54 pages, and I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of dogging on it. And I was dogging on it. And before we get into everything, I just want to say it was better than I thought it was gonna be.
I had low expectations, and they met them. But it wasn't as horrible of an experience as I personally expected it to be. It was low-key kind of cute. I understand why people use these types of books as palate cleansers.
Yeah, for sure.
And again, I love me a sports romance. Y'all know that. I read them all the time.
It's true. Mm-hmm. I hate sports romances with all my being. So
truly, I think the only thing that saved this particular book for me is the fact that of the sports mentioned, figure skating was more heavily prevalent than hockey. Mm-hmm. And I actually lived for figure skating when I was a kid. Not that I can skate at all, but I love.
I've never been ice skating.
You've never been ice skating?
We gotta fix that.
I've never
Come back
been
to New York.
Next time you visit, we're going.
Mm-hmm. And you'll watch me fall.
I fall too.
Okay.
It's fine. We'll all fall together. The thing that saved me in this book were the puppy dog little brothers of the hockey team.
Truly.
They were big golden retriever energy, and it was just so cute to watch them try and impress these two girls that they've adopted.
And other than the very beginning where JJ was let's shit on Nate.
Yeah.
No jealousy anywhere. They were all just that's your girl, and I respect
they're
that.
Okay, this is my sister now.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill for her, basically.
Quite literally. Especially at the end, I was that's what I want in a friend group.
That's exactly why the sports and romance genre in general does so well. In particular sports, because it's there's not a lot of sports that are solo. A lot of them are team.
Yeah.
And do you know how many material you can get with each different, character and member of the team?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's all written in the stars. It's written in the stars, written on the page. But yes, I was dog shitting because at that point I had read the first 54 like I did last year. It stopped at 54 and I actually did not like it. I did not like the way they were acting.
But pages or percent?
Pages. They were real.
Pages, 50.
The first chunk of the book, they were insufferable. Yeah. I was you guys are just obnoxious.
I don't want to fuck you even how hot you are.
Yeah.
Because your personality sucks ass.
Took quite literally until page 70 or 80.
That's where it got better for me too.
Genuinely be okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, this is actually kind of fun. So if you can suffer
That's literally
through
funny.
A good
first 54.
A good 10% of this book.
Especially.
of just like, this is not interesting. They're just fighting for no reason. And then it gets better. I still wouldn't say this is like the best book I've ever read.
Oh no,
but
not even.
It's not even the best sports romance.
No,
it's not even on a list anywhere.
This, because I started with this and I don't already read a lot of contemporary as it is opening doors for me to consider giving more contemporary style books a chance. I don't know if I would go with sports romances, but if you can give me something up my alley,
I'll have one you might enjoy, actually.
Okay.
I was like, I have a long list of sports romances.
This is one of those books where the sex is great. The sex is the only thing that matters.
Great?
It's okay. If you took the sex out of this book, you'd have maybe 100 pages of a very sad plot.
Very sad plot.
It'd be like, oh no, we can't use our ice rink. Oh no, we're enemies. Oh no, we're friends.
Say,
oh no, they want to fuck each other. I guess that's how they fall in love.
I guess that's how
I like that the sex, when it happened, made sense. You know? Like,
except for the first one.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, when they actually hook up for the first time, it was so sudden and aggressive, I was caught off guard.
But any other time, it's like they weren't having sex for sex's sake. Towards the end, though, before she met her dad, or his dad, I was like, what's happening? This is about to be kinky.
They're also,
and then it stops.
I will say there's a lot of moments in this book where it feels like in the editing process, they just took bits out. Like paragraphs were missing, or like whole chapters felt like they were missing, because you'd end up somewhere so suddenly that I didn't know how you got there.
I can't even remember what I was reading at one point, but it felt like the positions were wrong. Specifically in one sex scene where like it felt like he was in front of her doing something, but then she like put her head back against him, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. He's in front of you.
Listen, she's flexible. She's flexible.
You're tilting your head back against his chest, but he's in front of you.
But there were definitely just like plot points where like I'd be reading and then suddenly we're doing something else, and I'm like, how'd we get there?
They kind of like one-liners. It's like, oh yeah, we won, by the way, the game.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, yeah, I didn't need a play-by-play for the game, but if she is going to be watching your sport, I would like to know a little bit about it. Other than
or like,
wow,
you know, my thing was like, she's like, going to Olympics has been like her goal since like day one, almost, not literally, but day one. Mm-hmm. And it's like, we don't get to know about how she did in the Olympics.
Until you do.
Like, obviously we know she wins.
Yeah, but
we know that.
You don't get to see that actual journey. You just get the happy-go-lucky family
like
ending.
She got
hate,
knocked
by
up.
the way.
Yeah. But it has to be a happy
it could have been a happily ever after without her getting knocked up immediately after winning the Olympics.
Quite literally immediately. Like that night she gets pregnant.
Like basically.
Or at least that week.
They said they christened their new apartment everywhere. Man, this fucking beanie makes my head look weird. But yeah, I literally finished this book 4 minutes before we started this.
In true Lucia fashion.
Like 10 minutes ago.
So
going back to the beginning.
Who is your favorite character?
My favorite character absolutely was JJ.
I loved Henry.
And Henry's a little sweet boy. No filter. Just says everything. He's like, was that wrong? Yes, that was wrong.
And he likes to paint and everything.
Yeah, sweet.
He's a precious little pumpkin.
Truly, my favorite character actually was Nate.
Yeah.
He wasn't as insufferable as I found Stassi to be.
She was a little more high-strung, which made her, like, unbendable.
The therapy in this?
The therapy read me.
Of the plot.
The therapy read me myself, and I was like, why am I being called out right now? Excuse me.
The therapy is most of this plot. I did enjoy the fact that her therapist was like, when you talk to your parents, do you only ever talk about ice skating?
Right.
Yeah, because they're so they know it's important to me. Well, if it's part of your stress, maybe put up that boundary to not talk about it. So then when she starts to talk to her parents again, like the first time you see them interacting, they're like, how's skating? And she's like, actually, can we please not?
And let's make dinner. And
they were the most like on board parents. Are like, yeah, okay, whatever you do.
We talk about it because it's very important to you. If you don't want to talk about it, sure. Listen.
What?
Stop. having very on board supportive parents that are just like, cool, boundary, understood. Who was your least favorite character? Because I can tell you who it was for me. Actually not.
Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron was kind of trash.
Aaron
was just below her. No, he's
like, who didn't you like?
I said Stasia.
Can I say something?
Yeah, of course.
I've always thought that Anastasia was a beautiful name.
I love that name. Yeah.
And the fact that they give her nicknames, like all these like nicknames for her beautiful name.
Yeah, Annie's gross.
No. The reasoning
because she's an orphan.
I'm an orphan. And it's funny. And I'm like, it's not funny. That's traumatic.
It's awful.
No, I'm an orphan and I'm adopted. And I'm like...
I thought it was funny.
Little orphan Annie. I did laugh. I was like...
You know what it reminded me of? Do you remember Dominic Rice? Dominic from Legoland?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You know, or like Sam would make, the I'm adopted jokes.
Oh, yeah. Sam's basically white, right?
It's what it reminded me of. Just like off the cuff, sort of nonchalant about it. Because it should be you're adopted.
Right.
I just thought it was funny.
I would agree. I think Stasia is an awful nickname, and I really just wanted to call her Stacy the whole time.
Yeah. But I want to call her Anastasia because it's such a beautiful name.
It is such a pretty name. That was my cat's name when I was a kid.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we ended up having to call her Anna, though, because my brother couldn't pronounce Anastasia, so.
Yeah. But yeah, Aaron, from page 1, a walking red flag.
100%.
Well, not page 1.
Nah,
you're
basically
kind of
the
like,
beginning.
Yeah, he's cool.
The second
Nate meets him and he's like...
No, the second she was like, he tells me not to eat because I get fat. Done.
He can't. Out. I'm getting heavy, and every time he's like grunting and making different comments, I'm like, you are a fucking control freak. And through this entire book, I'm like, do you want to fuck her? And you just aren't brave enough to ask her to? Like, has she set that boundary and you're like, God damn it, I'm in the friend zone? So I'm going to control her in any way that I can?
Maybe, yeah.
I'm like, bro, stop being such an asshole.
There's this guy on TikTok, I don't remember his name, but he'll like stitch videos and like, hey, that's a red flag. And then another portion of the video, and it's like, another red flag. Like, listen, there's a red and then he'll like run around with a giant red flag when he does this. And so like as I'm reading this book, I'm like in my head picturing that guy. Red flag! Hey, red flag!
But, like, Stassi giving him the benefit of the doubt for 80% of this book.
For so long. It took her so long.
When Nate is literally telling her he is abusing you and using your naivety.
I respect what she was saying though about in terms of like towards the end where it's like, listen,
she's like, Nate,
this is my partner. I have to. Yeah.
In order to get my goals, to achieve my goals, I have to work with him. Mm-hmm. I can't restart right now. So please stop making me feel like shit because you hate him.
Yeah.
I understand. I also hate him right now, but I have to do this.
Yeah. I respect it. And yeah, I'm here for it. Although I feel like she should have hit him at least 5 times. You know, like jumping on towards the end.
Yeah.
Towards the end when he kisses her and he like I feel like Nate punching him wasn't enough personally.
No. But the fact that Nate waited that long because she's like, please don't hurt him.
Right.
And he's like, noted, fine. And the fact that he waited that long, he's like, no, fuck it. You deserve this and more.
I feel like Anastasia should have hit him, though.
Yeah. She should have got a chance to hit him.
The balls, for sure. I mean, she screwed up his life anyways, because she quit.
It's true, she did.
She's like, you don't get it. Neither do I.
The fact that he just gets to transfer, though, like that.
Yeah. Which he wanted to go to UCLA anyways.
It's true, yeah. He didn't even want to go wherever they were, I don't remember.
But let's talk about the beginning and why these two even get together in the first place, because that alone is fucking stupid.
The rink.
First of all, how rich of a college do you have to be to have 2 separate ice rinks? I feel like you have to share them either way. But the hockey rink specifically the generators get destroyed by a different team, by the UCLA team.
Yeah, a rival school.
Because one of the fucking rookies on this team had sex with someone else's girlfriend. Or at least that's what he thought it was. no, she was pregnant, got scared, and blamed it on him.
Yeah.
So everyone was like, fuck you,
that's
buddy.
Some shady ass shit.
It is.
I know, that's...
He dodged a red flag, let's be real.
Right? Red
so
flag.
Then Nate is out here
Red
trying to be
flag.
like, let's make this work. I'm the captain. I want to make
Right.
sure everybody's okay and chill. Like, we're not doing anything to compromise anybody's futures. And Stassi comes in hot, like, if you don't
like,
abide by my
"Go
schedule,
fuck yourself."
I'm gonna kill you. He's just like,
She's like, I'm gonna shove
Lollipop,
this
I wanna be your
fucking
friend.
stick that's up my ass and shove it up yours.
like, you're very beautiful, but I just want to be your friend.
And just trying to do the right
become
thing.
friends, they do.
They sure do. She only ends up in his room that night because her best friend ends up liking...
Hooking up
Robbie.
Yeah.
his best friend.
Yeah. His, like, childhood best friend.
Yeah.
And so Nate is like, you gotta bring her to his birthday party or he'll never forgive me. So she goes with him and she like goes upstairs with him to use his bathroom, which I'm still, they don't
He
live.
has a code on.
They don't live in a dorm, but all of their bedrooms have codes. They live in a house that Nate's father purchased. But all
Which
of their...
they probably had the security codes put in there because they throw up all these house parties. But it still doesn't make any sense.
I'm just so confused why they all have codes on their doors when it's not a dorm room.
And then where she lives, too. Like, it's like a fancy-ass hotel type thing.
These people...
I'm like, what?
Listen,
what is the logic
I'm not
here?
rich. I don't know what that
Because
means.
it sounds like dorm rooms, but not.
It's like we want the dorm experience, but we don't want the dorm experience.
Yeah.
So we're gonna just have keypads on our doors for fun.
And even Nathan being like, when I graduate, these guys are going to live here. I'm like, bro, your dad pays for this.
The kid,
you can't just tell
the
them
young
they're going
one.
to live there.
I don't think they all have keypads because
No,
Henry
no,
doesn't have.
Henry
Yes,
does.
he does. He puts
Henry-
the code in. It's just
But Stassi tries to put in the code for Ryan's room. Ryan's her fuck
Oh
buddy,
no, I
by
know
the
she
way.
does that for. I know he does that
in
for
Nate's door, and he's like, "Goddamn,
Nate's
yeah.
room.
cock
No,
blocking me
Henry's-
left and right."
Henry's code is like 0000
00,
because he
yeah.
didn't want to forget it. It's something
So
dumb
anyone
like
can
that.
get in
Oh
there.
yeah.
And fucking Nate. Apparently, there's a thing where Henry just has women's products, so like tampons and shit. Because he's like,
a dog.
I always want to make sure people are
He's a
comfortable no
gentleman.
matter what. He is a gentleman.
But he
And
also has
Nate
got game.
doesn't knock and just goes in Henry's room and ends up cock blocking the man. He's like, "I'm so sorry, didn't know."
See,
it
that's why I was
occupied."
like,
"It's not your room,
I
bro."
forgot.
Henry spends this whole book trying to get some and never gets some.
Doesn't get any. And he even makes the jokes like, "Bro, I'm about to see your fucking girl." And honestly, Stassi would.
She would.
She sees him as a brother pretty much the entire time, but to fuck with Nate, she would.
100%.
Especially at the beginning of the relationship, not so much towards the end, because she would have been like, "I'm not getting it with anybody," but I would make it seem like I was. But she would have actually acted on it in the beginning of the relationship when they weren't actually together, because who is commitment? She's never met
She's
her.
the commitment phobe.
She is. Yeah.
So this book started off with both of our people having sex with other people.
Quite
How do y'all
literally, you
feel
like you
about
wake
that?
up after coitus.
I like
When you meet them.
expected it almost.
And
Yeah.
the fact that Nate even makes a comment of like, "I wish I could tell you there weren't people before
Right.
you, but that there
I
were."
mean, they're literally college athletes. I would expect
Yeah.
nothing less.
But they also party way too much for being college athletes
No,
and
no,
having
no.
such strict regimens.
No.
You're telling me every single night? I mean, I did go to college. That does track. The
I went
threes were
to
hockey
a
central.
hockey school. I know what those boys are like.
That's fair. Did you ever get with any?
No.
Did you ever try? You ever think about it? Damn.
Small, tiny Katie in her theater degree didn't even think twice about the hockey boys.
Oh, that's a romance novel right there.
That is.
It would be, but no.
That's literally Lola.
Isn't Lola?
That's
Look,
literally Lola and Robbie. Because she's the theater nerd. It literally starts with her being like, "I hate this. I hate Olivia because she got the part and I didn't." And then like, she's literally the nicest person in the world. I'm like, yeah, I know. Just let me be mad about her.
I know, I'm still mad about it.
And then
You know what? I can actually relate to that.
Yeah, honestly,
And then-
same.
Stassi's fuck buddy Ryan is like low-key crushing on Olivia.
Right.
And she's like, "If you want to go be with her, like, go date her. Like, we can stop.
for
Like,
it."
it's fine."
You know
And
what?
they're, like,
I'm
best
so
friends.
That was such a chill setup she had.
Like the fact that like he's just in her room cuddling her. They didn't even have sex at that point. Like, he was low-key kind of courting Olivia. He was just in her room. I think they fell asleep after watching a movie together. And I'm like,
you just gotta cuddle with somebody.
I love this.
I'm not a cuddler.
That's fair.
Also, I don't remember the last time I cuddled with a person, so maybe I would be a cuddler.
I've genuinely never. I have cuddled a few of my friends, but like, I've never, with sexual intent or history, cuddled somebody.
Can we talk about the epilogue to this book because I hate it?
The way it ended after the whole I don't want to have kids.
There was like this whole heartwarming scene where she was just like, I don't want to have my own kids. Like, I want to adopt because I adopted and like
I am adopted.
Yeah.
I am adopted and like I got this nice like happy ending and not everybody gets that happy ending. And then for her to just like accidentally
get knocked up
on the like on such the slimmest percentage of a chance for it to occur.
You want to explain birth control?
Like, she threw up her birth control once.
Pregnant.
Not
like, how that works.
Like, there's such a small percentage of a chance that could have occurred. And it like, so many things would have had to have lined up. Like, she would have needed to have been ovulating that day. The egg would have needed to drop that day. Like, it's so far from, like, being
plausible.
Right? I'm just like, this...
That, like, could it have happened? Sure. But that's, like, 0.0000001%
like,
chance.
I would have rather, like, the epilogue been us seeing her win the
gold.
Yeah.
I agree.
Earlier in the book,
because that would have still been a happy ending. They would have still been together. Like, you could have thrown in that he won the Stanley Cup. I didn't need this. I'm gonna have a baby and we have a dog and there's this weird scene with her parents.
Literally earlier on, it says that like the Olympics are 2 years away. So then the epilogue for her is like 2 and a bit years later, and she's 6 months pregnant in the middle of June.
Also, at 6 months pregnant, you're not waddling. Sorry. That was also grossly inaccurate.
It was the locks on the dorms. It was the waddle. It was the forced pregnancy.
It's the suspension of belief that you have to have for this book.
I am very much aware of that. But a lot of the sports romance novels that I read, whenever I see that they're like, oh, happy ending, which obviously that's what I want, a happy ending.
Yeah, like,
but the pregnancy one, I'm like, bah. And it's because I don't want kids.
I don't understand why. And I know a lot of people get pregnant young, and I'm not bashing you for that. Like, make your own choices, do whatever. You just got out of college. You weren't thinking about kids like that. You literally are thinking more about your career. You're career focused. Yeah. And you're pregnant immediately after somehow pulling off a win in your Olympic debut.
Right? Like, that is so hard, too.
Yeah.
You didn't ruin it, maybe. But, like, you're going to have a hard time these next 4 years getting ready for the next Olympics.
Maybe I'm tripping balls, and because... And maybe I'm tripping balls, and I don't know a whole bunch of it. I've only seen, like, the Olympics during, skiing and stuff.
Yeah.
But isn't she a little, quote-unquote, old to be in the... aren't they, like, younger?
It depends on the sport. So, like, I don't know specifically figure skaters. Like, she does at some point say that, like, I only get so much time because, like... Eventually, your body can't keep up with it anymore. But, like, I'd imagine figure skaters could probably be a little bit older than, like, gymnasts. Like, gymnasts tend to be really, really young. Because the older you get, the less your body can do. But,
which
like...
is also wild that it's every 4 years. You really only get, like, 3 chances.
But, like, not all Olympic sports require you to be that young. Like, I know, like...
Yeah, like snowboarding.
Right. Or, like,
or skateboarding.
The runners and, like tennis and things like that. Yeah, track and whatnot. Like, they don't necessarily need... But I don't know. I know ice skating can be considered similar to gymnasts and dancers, but I don't know that it has the same...
I mean, I still think it's insane that you could be, like, 16 and be in the Olympics. Like, how do you even get chosen for this?
You compete. You could...
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I didn't even... it probably sounds stupid, but it's like, if you really want to be, like, a serious contender for Olympics, is college the thing that you do?
I feel like no.
Oh.
Right?
I mean, you have 4 years of your life that you're dedicating to something else. You have no guarantee when you're going to be entering it. Well, I mean, you do at that. You understand when you're going to be entering it.
I think it again would depend on the sport.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think that was like the most, you know?
Yeah. It definitely felt weird.
To like be training for the Olympics, why are you in college? Like
That's what I'm saying.
You should be having a lot more time dedicated to your training than just the maybe hour or 2 hours 5 days a week or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like I forget her name right now. I forget her name right now, but
Brady?
She's like one of not like in real life, like a tennis player who just won like one of the biggest competitions. She's like either the now youngest or second youngest to ever win, sort of thing.
Yeah,
and she won like a bunch of money. And they asked her, "Oh, what are you gonna do with the money?" And like she was like on TikTok Live or something, or like on Twitter Live, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Insta Live, whatever they're called, you know.
Yeah,
and
she's one of
them. They're like, and someone in the comments said, "Oh, are you going to pay off college debt?" And she goes, "Oh, I didn't go to college."
Right.
Literally, she's like 18, 19. Yeah. She never went to college
you
because
can
she
go
spent
to college
so much
at
time
any point.
Going on her crafts.
Yeah,
yeah.
You can go back to college at any point. You will eventually be out of your prime to do these sports.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was one of the things, and again, I only watched mostly the figure skating Olympics during the Olympics, so I personally don't really know ages, and so I could be literally talking out of my ass right now. You know, I acknowledge that I'm not a huge knowledgeable person in that, you know, but it's something that I'm curious about, regardless. All right, what was your favorite sex scene?
Not the car scene.
No, the car was just awkward and a little cringy.
Like, you're in the back of an Uber, so already no one in that vehicle, no one involves car. It's some strange man's car.
And it's like a full Uber, like the
full Uber.
The whole
There's like 6
team.
people there.
All your main and sub characters are in this Uber.
Everyone that you would find important in this book, in that vehicle. And she's sitting on Nate's lap, because you have to double up, because the 2 girls needed to be in there. And no one notices. No one at any point
any
decides
noises
to turn
or
around.
smells.
No,
however, they are
noises.
Absolutely
Drunk.
plastered.
Yeah, but at no point you're telling me in that drunk car that no one's going to turn around and be like, "Hey Nate, hey Stas," and try and involve them in the conversation. Because I can tell you absolutely anytime I've been in Uber, I'm involving everyone in the conversation.
Yeah,
I'm making sure I have everyone's attention.
Cringy.
And he's just like, "Are you going to be a good girl for me and stay quiet?" And she's like, "If you don't start
good
line right now, I'm gonna do it myself."
Good
do you
lines.
Need pointers?
There were good lines.
There were some good lines.
I didn't want him in a car.
No, and that was like the second time I think they were intimate.
Yeah.
They hadn't fully had sex yet, I don't think.
He goes down on her at that party with the bathroom.
He
right.
does.
When she tells him the only reason she wants to see a man
on their knees is if he's between my thighs, and he's like, "You want to test that theory?" And he gets down and she's like, "Oh shit, and he does it,
and it avoided him for like a week or 2.
She literally was like, "Fuck, I gotta go." And he's like, "What did I do?"
If you were him, right? Because obviously she avoided him, and that's what you mentioned it briefly about. Ryan was like in bed with her
literally
they
like
fell asleep
3
watching.
days later. Yeah,
and because they fell asleep watching a movie. If you were Nate and you saw this chick that you had a crushing on in bed with the other guy, and again, you don't know their circumstances.
You just had intercourse of some sort.
How would you feel?
Probably
like,
pretty shitty.
Probably more shitty than he did feel.
Yeah.
He's like, honestly, we didn't put a label on it. We haven't talked about anything that happened. She can do what she needs. Like, I've hooked up and messed around with different people every other day. Like, I understand the feelings.
Literally, when they were playing that game about and they're like, never have I ever game. Like, never have I ever hooked up with
Nate.
Never have I ever hooked up with an older woman and realized that I slept with the daughter once I got home, and he drinks the drink.
No, so much.
You know what I really like? I really like how much he calls him pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like the nickname
really
Bub.
Cute.
Yeah, that one.
I feel like
weird.
She could have just called him Babe.
Bub.
He calls her Baby.
He does.
And I'm like, I love this.
That's the thing I like.
Oh, how'd y'all feel about our almost death scene?
Could have been more dramatic, honestly. Why did you give me 2 sentences of her not breathing and him resuscitating her? That was it. 2 sentences.
I didn't feel there wasn't a part of me that was like, oh my god, you know.
You have like
probably
4
one
paragraphs
because I know it's a happy
panic,
ending,
right?
And that's it.
Were y'all waiting for them to break up?
Yes,
they
kind of did a little bit.
I often expect it in contemporary romance.
Yeah,
like the third act breakup.
Drama.
Yeah,
which isn't. And it wasn't even really a true breakup. It was just like...
She was just mad at him because he lied. Yeah.
It was space.
Yeah.
He lied again. I like
the part... Or go ahead, sorry.
I loved her cooking together with
JJ.
With JJ, yeah.
To help her get more comfortable
learning
with
how
eating
to
the food that she needed.
Food she actually needs.
And she was like so much healthier after realizing that she could actually eat food.
You know what I was waiting for her after getting on an actual diet and like building muscle, landing that fucking trick that they were trying to do.
Oh, right.
I was waiting for that.
That would have been the perfect tie-in.
Right?
And it would have been even
she
better
does
if
it at the fucking Olympics
with Nate instead of
right?
Aaron.
Like, that's what I was waiting for her to be like, let me try it, let me see.
Also, the whole thing, I don't care how good of a hockey skater you are. You have 4 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever it was that they ended up doing together, learning how to figure skate, and you're just 2 weeks in, you can skate on your new skates and somewhat do the routine. She had to teach you the routine. I feel like that would have taken more time.
He's in the wrong sport, clearly.
Like, you just essentially just follow her around. You don't have to do much other than lift her when she needs to be lifted. Like, literally just skate in the general direction that she's going, so you're there. That's what I envisioned he was actually doing. But, like, at points he was actually using his toe pick. And he's like, well, yeah, the stupid fucking pick you have here. Like, I'm falling over because of it. And then it ended up helping him because he became a much more graceful skater.
Yeah.
But, like, that's 4 weeks and you're, like, a pro? No, I don't believe that.
Listen, maybe I'll be like that. I'll be a prodigy.
Maybe.
I loved the Christmas vacation that they had together.
I did love their little Christmas
the onesie
vacation.
Where they went back to his house in Colorado because his dad and his sister weren't supposed to be there.
It also...
How do you feel about his dad?
Listen, I knew that his dad was going to show up, but it took so much longer than I thought it was going to.
But for his dad to also be like, honestly, I respect her. Yeah. Good choice. Like, you're still a dick.
He cheated on his dying wife.
Yeah, I'm not surprised he's a rich man.
And then some people make mistakes. And he's, like, so sad, but also doesn't really apologize for it, other than saying, you know, hurt people make mistakes.
And then Nate was like, I realized that the person who hates my dad the most is himself, or some shit like that.
You can't hate him more than he hates himself.
Right.
Some shit like that, yeah.
There's something else.
Yeah. Anyway, it was, like I said, it was better than I thought it was going to be, which I appreciated.
Speaking on that whole sequence, Homegirl's low-key real kinky.
She really is.
She tried really hard to, like, take charge.
Cover that man in ice cream toppings and eat them off him.
Yeah, and he was, like, so ready for it, and he's so mad that he got interrupted by his sister. And she's like, you're lucky I found you, because if Dad walked in, you were gonna get killed.
Listen, I knew she was kinky because she was willing to do what they did in the Uber.
True, I mean,
for sure.
No, not even that far. The first time where she just lets him do it. Like, you should get on your knees only time I want to see you on your knees is if you're going to be between my thighs. And he's like, bet. And she's like,
that's not that kinky to me.
Put your tongue where your mouth is.
I was thinking more of like, voyeurism in terms of like, watching people and letting people watch them. Mm-hmm. I was like, and then the amount of time she didn't wear underwear and she wore a low cut dress,
right?
Like, very much shame. So wanted everything.
But
how many college girls are going out in their barely cover ass dresses with no underwear on and sitting on bar stools?
That would hurt.
Your ass has got to be sticky by the time you get home.
Not even that. You're asking for an infection. Because it's going to happen.
That's unsanitary.
Whether anything happens that night or not, you're asking to get sick. The one thing I did find unbelievable also was the amount of times both of them, mainly him, were so jealous and possessive when there was no label.
Yeah.
You were not together. You're barely friends. Like, openly still despises you and is only hanging out with you when you're friends because of Lola.
Right.
Like, why are you being so... And she's playing into it, being like, oh, we're gonna make him so mad because I know he's low-key down bad for me.
Right.
Wearing JJ's jersey to the, like, Halloween costume or thing or whatever it was.
That was
and he's just like, take it off. Take it off right the fuck
That was
now.
the best sex scene.
That was a good
That
sex
was a good
scene.
sex scene.
That was the best one for me. On the against the door or where the wall,
agree,
wherever
yeah.
they're at.
No. What was fucked up of that though is when she goes back. She like lives back at her apartment now, and she's like, your clothes don't smell like you anymore. Like, please come back. I told you not to stay, but like, come back. And they like force it. She like forces him into her room so that Aaron doesn't see. And Lola's like, please don't fuck in front of me. And they're like kind of being quiet in her room on her bed. And then she's like, I need more. And he's like, I know what you need. And like throws her to the fucking door and starts pounding into her. I'm like, bro, you're not being quiet. People know. You're making noise on that door.
What did Henry say? I was like, my room's right next to him.
So loud.
You're so loud when you come.
And he's like, should I not have said that? And never fucking say that again. So then she's like, I gotta be quiet. Like, if we're gonna do it, we gotta do it now. Because I don't want to risk him being over there. I can't be quiet. He's like, what's the rush? Like, I can't let Henry know I'm coming.
No.
It was a book.
It was a book. Definitely a good palate cleanser. This was nice to like sandwich in between my like heavy fantasies that I've been reading.
Yeah.
Because it's easy and simple and like
physically
it was entertaining. Like I found myself laughing quite a bit. Like some of the things they said were hilarious.
Some of it was so fucking out of pocket.
Some of it was.
I still think about that one quote.
Which one?
I texted it to Katie. I have already forgotten it. It was from the very beginning, pretty much. Hold on.
See, I took a picture of one of them.
Oh, you know what? You know what part I liked? They're singing Cruel Summer by Taylor Swift in the car when they're drunk. I was here for that part.
Yeah, and then they had sex. Well, he fingered her. No, this was, you don't have to like me to scream my name, Anastasia. Slay.
Yes. The one I saved made me giggle, and it's I think they're in the airport, and he opens up the book she's reading, and he screams, "You're reading porn in public? You're disgraceful."
She's like, "Shut the fuck up."
And I was reading this in my office at work, and I was
which, for people who read spicy books or just romance in general, know that the cartoon covers mean it's explicit content. But I physically read this book. This is the second book that I actually physically opened up and read. I've mainly been listening to audiobooks for my drive or my commute to work, but I've pretty much exclusively been ebooks since I got my Kindle almost 2 years ago. So like, this was a nice change for how quickly I was able to get through it. I think I read it in like 4 days.
I do have to say, I wish that it wasn't as long as it is. I wanted it to be shorter.
They had to fight.
I think it could have been longer.
I wanted it to be just a little bit shorter.
Or like something could have been taken out and scenes could have been longer. Like I feel like it went too quickly.
The Olympics.
I feel like if I could have seen the Olympics, I wouldn't have been mad about 400 pages. But I didn't see the Olympics.
Or seen more interaction or more drama with Aaron. Because most of the drama with Aaron was like off page.
Yeah.
And her like walking in on it or like hearing about it secondhand. If she could have,
Henry fought 3 guys.
Henry did fight 3 guys.
Henry popped off. The one kid I thought wouldn't have done it, and he's like, "I haven't checked, and I'm going to turn around and punch the shit out of you."
I haven't checked, but they're obviously setting up Henry to have his own book. This author, they still haven't found that. So maybe he'll get his own book, or maybe he already does.
We could read Wildfire. That is the next one.
What is Wildfire?
I don't think it's hockey.
Maple Hills series, so I bet it's more
from the team.
Yeah.
I like how JJ was like, I just want a guy to give me flowers.
And then Nate's like, make it 2 bouquets. Make it 2. Like, that's a good friend right there. A good friend. To be like, I'm getting something for my somewhat significant other, and my bestie also wants it. Fuck it, here you go.
Or I like the part where Anastasia's like, Because Nate was clearly written by a woman.
Yeah.
No shit.
For sure.
I thought it was funny.
Was definitely funny.
But yeah, this, like I said, this book was much better than I thought, which I thought prior to the 54 pages, which I really appreciate. And Aaron can go suck a bag of dicks.
Yeah. We haven't really shit on this as much as I thought we would have. Did you want to rethink your rating, or do you?
I mean,
still
no,
stand by
I'd still stand by a 2. Like, I can enjoy a book that's a 2.
Okay.
Yeah. What's your
There's
rating,
just other
Mary?
parts of it that weren't what brought it up very high.
I've always been a plot driven person, so
yeah,
like
there was very little plot.
there's no plot in this.
I gave it a 3.5 just because I did enjoy it so much, but there were so many aspects to it that I'm like, I can't justify giving it any higher.
Mm-hmm.
Like 3.5 is generous. I couldn't give it a less than a 3. Honestly, because I did enjoy it and it made me giggle and I got all the way through it.
Yeah.
But
you actually finished it, you know?
Yeah. It is shocking that I got through it.
Say, one of the reasons that I had suggested we give a hockey romance a try was because a TikTok or an interview or something had basically said that hockey boys are the morally gray bad boys.
He is not.
He was not that. We chose the wrong... a like heartwarming, thoughtful, empathetic.
What do they say? He was raised by his mom. He was he is the way his mama raised him.
I'm almost curious if I'd enjoy something that had that morally gray bad boy.
Oh, I can hook you up.
If our opinions would be flipped, because I love a good morally gray character, but if I can't do toxic, and I don't think in a contemporary I want a toxic man.
So, I don't know.
Where like there's no reason to be toxic.
Maybe I'll think of trying something else, but...
Let me know, okay? I'll give you some
I'll let you know. I have a couple more romances on my shelf that I need to get through first.
Yeah.
What are we going to read next month?
So we were talking about that earlier. What is it?
Prisoner's Throne.
Prisoner's Throne comes out next month.
Like in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Which
one's Prisoner's Throne?
That's the sequel to Stolen Air, the one with
Holly
Oak.
Okay. Yeah. So we don't know if it comes out in the beginning of the month, which I think it does.
Let me go look. I think
it's like the 5th or 6th that it comes out.
If it's the 5th or 6th, we can definitely do it.
Let me see. Oop. That one doesn't tell me. Please
hold. You just look up the date. Just look up Prisoner's Throne.
No, I don't want Nook by Barnes & Noble. From Barnes & Noble.
Either way, I'm fairly certain it comes out like at the very beginning of the month because that's when
it comes out on the 13th. So that's like mid-month.
Okay, so we'll do that in April then.
So that
because I probably won't get my pre-order until the end of the month anyways. So what are we doing next month? Whose turn is it?
One of y'all's.
Yeah, that's what we were trying to figure out. Well, I picked Endless War, technically. Technically, I gave us the rundown of what we should have read because they were sequels to stuff we already did. So the last couple books were technically my choice.
So my choice.
So then Katie. Yeah.
I'll have to peruse my shelf.
Okay.
Yeah, you just let me know.
Yeah.
So to be determined, but the April read will be Prisoner's Throne.
Yes.
And then I'll think of something for the next month.
What is going on in your house, bro?
Yeah, you
my little sister. Remember last time how my little sister and dad were watching something?
Yeah.
They're again watching something.
Okay. All right.
Fine. That's fair. As long as no one's dying.
No. Just like I think they're watching an anime or something.
That checks out. Yeah.
I don't think there are any other sequels after Prisoner's Throne that I can think of right now for books that we've read and enjoyed that we should continue. Coming out this year, so we should go back to we should be able to go back to a normal rotation
because Ragpicker King is going to be early 2025.
Yeah,
which made me sad.
Which
I was
expecting
that's Sword Pitcher. I expected that this year.
Swords Follow.
Yeah.
I still think that we need to do a collective ACOTAR one. So you let me know when you finish that.
Yeah, fucking read it, Lucia.
Jesus. Have you finished book 2 at least?
Maybe. No, I haven't picked it up.
Or Strangler.
But you know what? They're both now over there. Remember how I have the little dumpster fire and by the bookshelf? They're both up there. Mm-hmm. The 2 and 3.
Ugh, ridiculous.
Okay.
Well, because y'all want me to do a video, and I'm like, I don't feel like doing a video.
I mean, I want like specific reactions, and I can tell you what chapters or pages, but then you know that something's gonna happen.
That's fair. You know what? If something spicy happens, like whether they're funny or something, I'd be like, I'll do like a Snapchat or something.
Yeah, as long as you save those videos, because I want the reactions to be able, even if it's just like 3 reactions to like specific parts that I want to be able to have that content for me.
Okay. Oh, by the way, this is the second book I've read this year. I'm slacking.
Wow.
You've only read for book club? Damn.
Yeah.
Let me see
I'm slacking.
I'm up to almost 20 books now.
Nice.
18 of which, or like 17 of which have been audiobooks, so it's fine.
I got the flu last week, so that wasn't fun.
Oof, that sounds awful.
You should actually pick
the fucking
something
rain.
for a Polycon.
That's what I was just thinking. Pick one of my Polycon books. I was trying to decide.
Katie and I are going to a Polycon. If you've not heard of that, it's a Jennifer L. Lemmertrout's like author convention thing, which is a bunch of authors go to, and you have signings. And we have Primal tickets, which are the highest tier that you can get. So we get a bunch of free books. We get to do all of the events. There's like 3 parties that we get to go to. I'm excited.
So I have Belladonna.
I do want to read that.
All the Stars and Teeth. The
I like
song
that title.
Me too. That's why I bought it.
What? Who's the author?
The same one who wrote Belladonna. The Song That Moves the Sun. Fury Born.
Okay.
And From Blood and Ash, but that's a bit of a commitment for this.
Yeah.
And I have Dumplin', which is another contemporary, so we probably don't.
Okay. I like Furyborn and Belladonna. Belladonna I'm more inclined to be excited for. But that's like a YA book. I think it's YA. Yeah. And if there is spice, it is YA spice. So like Fade to Black are very limited.
I don't know. I'll have to go down and read the backs of all the books and see which ones.
Just don't give me Holly Black.
No.
It would be probably a little more than Holly Black.
Listen, we're going to go see Holly Black in 2 weeks, and I'm going to ask her. My one question is where Oak's goat legs start.
Okay, perfect.
Is it hip?
Perfect.
Is it
I need to know. Is it
shin?
hip, mid-thigh? Like, where's it? What are we talking about here?
I feel like it has to be at a joint.
Does he have a goat dick?
Right?
What?
That's what I need to know. Give me the information. Thank you.
Yeah.
Imagination. Well, this was fun.
This was fun.
A lot of fun.
And again, you know what? I feel like you're right, Mary. I feel like we weren't really trashing it as much as I thought.
No,
like,
but you know why? You know why it's easy not to trash it? I felt because again, the plot isn't like
you're
plotty,
not reading it for the plot, but like I enjoy plots, which is why it wasn't so high on my list. Like it's not a 5-star read to me because I expected there to be a little bit more plot, and there really wasn't, or the plot that existed to have made more sense than it did.
Yeah.
Super easy read.
You know what though? I also appreciate how much Anastasia benefited from therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And she grew because again, like I said, she was annoying as shit in the beginning.
She really grew as a person for sure.
As an independent person, she didn't need to be as like codependent. Not that she really was, but she was a little bit.
She didn't grow because Nate existed in her life. She grew on her own, and I think that was important. Like, sure, he helped like bring certain things to light, but he wasn't essential in her overcoming those things.
Yeah. I will say...
I also... Oh, go ahead.
No, you can continue, because I'm changing subject.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I also do like, even though we all agree that Aaron is very red flag, that that Anastasia was able to see it as the reason he's like this is potentially because of his upbringing, and he himself is not willing to benefit and learn and be a better person from it.
Yeah.
And she's like, listen, he's not there yet.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's realistic.
It is, yeah.
What I liked, that we didn't mention towards the end of the book, is how strong of a support system she does have with, the boys, and how Lola is like... will like fucking control these men and be like, I am in charge. Listen to me. And after the whole like kiss, because this was all like put on television, like people saw that shit live.
Yeah.
When she has Nate bring her home, she's like, I gotta move out. And he was gonna help her. She gets there. Lola already has everything packed.
Right? She's
like,
already
we're
moving.
leaving, and she has all of the boys over there, and they're all just like uncomfortable. But Lola obviously did all of the like intimate packing, and the boys are just like, we just gotta move everything. And she's like, we're getting you the fuck out.
Lola gets shit done.
She does. And then she's like, hop to it, Hawkins. Join the boys.
So yeah.
March!
Overall, a fun read. For sure.
Good, so that now we know in the future that once we, like, if a series gets too intense, or if we need to, like, cool it out, we'll just bring out a sports romance.
Yeah, give them a go. I'm all about trying new things, quite frankly.
Really
I'm gonna read my,
because I would...
I don't think I could stomach it. I don't think
Lucia,
I could.
we might have to do a dark romance if you can do triggers. I want to, like, see...
Yeah, I can do it.
I want to talk about one.
Which one?
Not one in particular. Like, we should find one that I haven't read. That
Me too.
shouldn't be too, like, awful. But I feel like having different genres on here would be fun.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I feel
and
like
I've read a lot of...
We've really only done, like, fantasy and then this, like, one contemporary.
It has been a lot of fantasy. We read that one book. What would you even call Damned?
Oh, that was...
psychological.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I read, like, for 3 pages, was like, nope, not for me. Goodbye.
I liked it.
And that was a fun book to read through. Definitely something I never would have picked up on my own.
Good old thrift stores, you know, that's how I get my books.
Yeah. All right. I
think I heard the child.
Yeah. You're falling asleep.
No, the baby is...
All right, y'all.
Screaming.
Falling... Oh, yeah.
All right, well, this was
Guess
still
this is
just as
where
long as we normally have him.
Yeah,
So
no, it's not too bad.
Well, this was Lucia. Oh, wait, any last remaining thoughts before we...
if this is your genre, I hope you enjoy it, because it was entertaining.
Welcome to Sports Romance, y'all. Anyways, this was Lucia.
Katie.
And Mary.
Bye.
And this was Book Talk, and we will see you next month. But bye for now. That was fun.